I come in with the freestyle.
What's up, and welcome back to Cleats to Whistle Podcast. I am Brad Valdez.
I am Kevin Watson.
So this is take 2 on Coach, man. I'm so excited. I finally didn't mess up.
Finally.
So, man,
I did that
hey,
on purpose.
Coach Durant, man, I appreciate you for having us out, man. Phenomenal episode with your boys, man. But let me introduce yourself. Sorry about this. This is George Durant Jr. He is the head football coach here at W.E.B DuBois Academy. Man, 2-8 last year. Man, let's get into this podcast, man, and dive in and talk to you about this.
Yeah. Shout out to who laid that track for y'all boys, man.
No, man, I got to pay for that, man.
Who produced that, man?
I had to pay for that, man.
Like some real deal.
Diddy or no Diddy.
No Diddy.
I can't remember who it was.
Man, you coming through with the Steel Series headphones.
Yes, sir, man.
Yeah, I noticed.
You see what we got? We got the old,
Yeah, these 1999 right here.
We'll grow up
My
one
son
day and
got
get the
these.
big ones.
I'm getting grilled on
It's
this.
all good.
Yeah.
So, man, hey, but like I said, we appreciate you for having us, man.
Right.
You're doing good things here, man. It's been a struggle for you, right? But you're getting it right, man.
Right, man. It's been a blessing, honestly. You know, I prayed for some things, man, last year, me and my family. You know, we prayed for 2 words, right? My 2 words was leadership, to increase my leadership, increase my faith, right? And this is a challenge right here. You know what I mean? It's a building process, and I realize everybody ain't built to build, and then going into this year, we in April, but, personally, me and my lady, we was talking, and she's like, man, you don't feel like you accomplished it, do it again. And that was the most profound words that I had in a long time, just 3 words. You know what I mean? I said, what you mean? She said, well, you feel like you didn't grow as you thought you needed to in faith and leadership. Pray for it again. Do it again. You know what I mean? So it's crazy because that's where we at right now. Like the boys said earlier in the last episode that, progressive. We were very progressive last year, right? But everybody chalks it up to the wins and the loss column.
That's right.
You know what I mean? But we grew in a lot of ways. You know what I mean? But, these are smart kids, man. And just like they say, we just ran out of gas, in a couple games.
Bodies.
And you know as well as anybody, high school football is a numbers game.
100%.
If I can run 85 guys at your 20, eventually I'm going to wear you down.
100%.
You can stay with me for 2 quarters.
Yeah.
Quarter 3 and 4 is where I'm going to get you. And
Yes,
you know that. And that's what happened to you a lot last year.
And we tried to combat it in some ways with tempo, right? We weren't ashamed to run that dang on clock down to 1, and snap it. Now we probably had the most delay of games than anybody in the state, but it was an effort to preserve, what I'm saying, them from play to play.
Yes, sir.
And really, they understood that. Sometimes we got boos in the crowd, but they understood it internally, like, no, we gonna get lined up, but it also allowed us to see the field a lot better as well too. You know what I mean? Yeah. Instead of rushing from play to play. So
I remember last year, and I saw the halftime score of the Central game.
Right.
And I was like, whoa.
Right.
Something's,
Right.
Give these guys a little credit. They're a little better than people think they are. Because Central's never a slouch.
Right.
And to be 7-0 with Central at halftime, I don't care who you are or what you're doing. That's good. There's something to be said for that.
Yes,
now,
sir.
like you said, you probably ran the clock down every time. They probably
Right.
The best way to beat Central is keep Cortez on standing on the sideline. Let's be honest.
Yeah. You know what? One thing I wouldn't even credit to that. It was our last game because we weren't eligible for playoffs. So throughout the season, we were just like everybody, 2 days in film, 2 days in the weight room, trying to do different things. Well, we was like, man, listen, we ain't getting no stronger in 4 days. We ain't got no game to play next week, so we just dove into the film room every single day. Instead of going into the weight room, we did some plyo stuff to get warmed up and things of that nature. But we just dove into the film room every day, and the way they played with attention to detail. That's why they spoke how they spoke. That was for the first time they really were expecting things and playing with expectation, like sitting on routes. Recognizing same formation but different personnel in that formation, right? We caught a pick and dropped 2. Right, and it was real youthful for us. Right, their first touchdown was a 2x2 formation screen and go that we didn't bite on, but our freshman safety, right, was up against one of their junior senior wideouts, right? And realizing space, time, ball, in the flight of air, was to their advantage. But nobody bit, it just was experience in that play. So, we try to keep them upbeat as far as knowing why things happen. You get what I'm saying? The second touchdown to make it 14 was a boot play that the quarterback got hit, ball goes in the air, and they just come down with it, right, as we're trying to get the ball too. You know what I mean? So, and then after that, it was just gas.
What did it end up being?
I think it was 30-0. But we ended up putting in, like I said, last game, we weren't in the position to say, hey, reserves go in. But, you want to get everybody to get that experience, right. Especially as a team like that, to be able to say that. So some of the guys that would normally have played when it was out of reach for us, when we were gassed out, you know what I mean, in that fourth quarter. I think they scored probably about 2 or 3 in the fourth quarter. But, we had put in, a lot of our younger guys or guys that wouldn't normally play. You know what I'm saying? Just you got to get that experience, man. You out here for memories too.
You know what I take out of that, what I just heard? It wasn't a running clock.
Nah.
I mean, running clock's the worst demoralizing thing that can ever happen to a program.
It is.
And that you got to take the little things. I mean,
right. Progressive. That's why we use that word.
Progressive.
You know what I mean?
And it's a great feeling as a coach to when the other team lines up and you know exactly what they're going to do.
Right.
If you can just yell out, here comes the trap,
right.
here comes the trap, here comes. I mean, it's
right.
It's,
but seeing it though, seeing it unfold, like
right.
it was some awkward stuff. Like there's an example where I ain't gonna unpack Coach playbook or nothing, but they ran a bootleg play, right? And obviously it's levels, flat, intermediate, deep. That's ABC football, and in a very sophomore, inexperienced way, our outside linebacker literally was facing the backfield. Like, you say, don't turn your shoulders to the sideline, right? That's the rule number 1. Stay parallel to the line of scrimmage.
Stay parallel, yo.
Right? And so he's turned with his shoulders into the backfield, waiting for the slip to the flats. You get what I'm saying? Now, bait him up, deep shit. Wait, we know, but seeing, them do that in those ways, man, was real. It's eye-opening. Real good, man.
It's eye-opening as a program to know that you've got to that point.
Right. And so really, with how we're structuring things this year, it was a light bulb moment for us. And we like, man, we have to find a way logistically to get 4 days of film. You know what I mean? Not substituting the weights, right, for the film.
Okay.
But we have to find a way. We have to.
Here's the thing. During the season, you can just do maintenance lifts.
Right.
You don't have to throw around a lot of weight.
That's where we developed our program, like this off season, for the, like I say, logistically, they spoke about it. We had guys playing baseball, guys playing basketball, guys playing track, and it's not on campus. Right. So for the guys that was here, we targeted, them and their deficiencies with their body, whether it's hamstring, back, we really put personalized plans for them to get stronger in those areas. And so we started power, January and February was power and flexibility. Then we transitioned, strength and flexibility.
Strength and play, okay.
Then we went to power and functional movement, towards the spring.
Man, Coach.
So the guys, man, that were here, man, they started walking a little different. You know what I mean? They started, we had a guy who was an all-district player for us, who had real back problems, and he couldn't run 2 laps without getting a backache, and that's weak glutes, weak hamstring going up that back, and he did the work, and he run all day now. You know what I'm saying? He run all day now. So the growth, man, that's permeating through this building, man, is incredible. You know what I mean? And,
Man, you can feel it, Coach.
I ain't even in
He's over here smiling. He's like, yeah, let's go, man.
He's not a smile guy, especially out on the field, but you could see he's excited.
Yeah, man. It's crazy.
I mean, just us texting back and forth. We couldn't hear each other talking, but I could feel he was like, let's go.
Dude, man,
an exclamation point. Let's go.
Well, you take it, man. We've had our trials and tribulations. Like, I'm still not in the building until next fall, right?
That's got to be tough.
And it was.
Are there any coaches in the building?
Right. So we were expecting 3. Myself, our offensive line coach, and defensive coordinator, right at the beginning of the season last year. And I didn't make it, paperwork stuff, trying to get the district, trying to get everything, because I was coming as a teacher, and my process got held up. And so I had to get stuck at Butler. Our defensive coordinator, found out that, he was having to start at another school, right, a couple days before. And then our offensive line coach, and this is some of the stuff you can't control, right, that our middle school numbers aren't progressing to the high school. That's going to cut the budget, right? So in cutting that budget, our offensive line coach got overstaffed to another school, right? And we still doubled our roster throughout the season, right, with no coaches in the building, and these kids recruiting kids.
Let me let you know a little secret. That's where Coach LaCunta Farmer comes into play.
100%. He's a GOAT, man.
I mean, he's
now the deal is,
I can't say enough positive things about that dude.
Well, and that's what I mean. Let's touch on that a little bit, man. Your relationship with him, man. Did he call you up and say, "Hey, you want to be a coach?" Or how did this all fall into place, man?
Man, crazy.
I bet you.
I called him from I broke my leg. I wasn't coaching in 2019, 20. Kobe Clark called me at 2021, 22 to come to Butler. Right, so I go there coordinating. They go different ways, right? After 2 seasons, and I was content, because I wasn't coaching. That's my big Cardinal brother right there. So I'm like, man, I come back, I'll help you out. And so I had a meeting with AD Just over at Butler, just about stepping away as far. He met with all the coaches, right? And he like, man, if you want to stay on staff or whoever we hire, we give you a good recommendation and things like that. I'm like, coach, man, I'm good, And he was like, man, you never know, head coaching might be in your future someday. You ever thought about it? I said, man, I don't want to be no head coach. And at that time it was tied to me being like a part of the district too, because I had given that a shot and I didn't really want to come back into the district at one point, right? And I was content with just being in business. I was an operations manager, marketing, doing all that type of stuff, And so I called my big brother, and I'm like, man, hey, Coach Just said something to me, got my wheels turning, like tell me what you think about it. So we was on the phone about 40 minutes, right? And he just filling me up, anything I need, he just giving it to me. And so I'm like, man, I hadn't talked to him for a while. He doing his thing. And so I'm like, man, I appreciate you, He's like, hey, hold up real quick. He said, man, there's some stuff that we doing over there. I want you to keep your eyes on it. And he's a professional dude, man. You know what I'm saying? He's loving, but he's close to the chest, man, with a lot of stuff. And obviously, with the district works, he couldn't say certain things, but he's like, man, just keep your eyes on our school. I'll say, man, I got my eyes on you. You my big brother. I'm definitely watching. He hired me at Ballard, my first coaching job ever, 2015. You know what I mean? I was coaching the camp. He's like, where you coach? I say, nowhere. He said, I got a spot for you.
Y'all beat us in the playoffs that year.
You know what I mean? So it came full circle. Hey. And as that stuff started to unpack, I seen it and listed and I'm like, I'm about to apply for this. And I wasn't even thinking about it. He just like, just keep your eyes open, And so I'm like, I'm gonna apply for this. So I applied for it. I applied for it, man, and then we just got to work, man.
Kunta is a very spiritual, 100%. Serious person.
100%.
100%. Seriously, I mean, I don't know how many young men, we're not quite young anymore, but that I have talked to over the years that Kunta's my big brother. Kunta's my brother, man. Yeah. I mean, unbelievable the impact this dude's had on the city.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. He used to tell me when back then, like, man, you remind me so much of me. I'm like, man, and then you got the young guy Deontay Clyburn, our defensive coordinator. I found myself looking at him sounding like Coach Frum. I'm like, dude, it's like all of us play a linebacker. Like all of us got this ferocious, mentality. You know what I mean? Just astute guys. And so. It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. We already know that. But it's time. It's time with the community. It's time. When you don't have any alumni, right? It's a gift and a curse because now we can lean on, a knock, marketing, with corporate Louisville.
Yep.
We don't got no alumni to lean on. So write them 4-5 figure checks. You know what I'm saying?
Let's go.
That's what we look. That's what we trying to do. So
why not you?
We trying to develop. a program that prepares anybody that touches it for whatever that next level is. You get what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
And so that's the intent. We had 11 young men that wanted to be a part of our program and not put on a helmet. So I'm like, we got to find ways. We started a journalism club. You know, we stole a trainer. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we hiring a director of marketing and media and social, you know, networking.
Wow, let's go, man.
To dive into that, man. So
I know a lot of people. I've never heard anybody say one negative thing about anything going on over here. And, you know, that's hard because there's always somebody.
Right.
And a lot of it has to do with Coach Farmer. I mean, he's respected. He's loved.
Right.
I mean, but you, the team, everybody I've talked to said that, man, that's one of the most well-mannered teams that I've ever been around.
Yeah, I tell any coach, I say, man, just come to me first.
Got kids picking up trash on the sideline. 100%. I mean, that's –
yeah, we pick up trash at the park where we practice at over there at Barrett Field every day. You know, before
I've heard it. I mean, I'm out. And I hear it. So yes, be proud of what's going on.
We appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
The principal, you know, Dr. Hunter, man, she's a steel rod, man, when it comes to this place. And it's gonna be tough, man, you know, because you can't just get in here, right? Which that's just two things that I see a lot of times. Some people still don't realize we're not just a middle school anymore.
Right.
But then other people don't feel like you can transfer in. You can do both. But you got to come ready.
They're not just going to let anybody in here.
You know, you got to come ready, man.
Right.
And it's not all cake and ice cream and things. One of the things you say, people don't say anything negative that I've heard a lot is, you know, oh man, you know, they say it ain't what it was supposed to be. Well, you tell me something that was on a whiteboard drawn up before they started,
right.
And it ended up the way it was on the whiteboard. Ain't nobody that good.
Exactly.
Ain't nobody that good. And if it's still the same way as it was on that brainstorm board, you probably out of business.
And one of the reasons it's not the way it was supposed to be because you still don't have facilities.
Right.
How hard? I mean, touch on that just a little. I mean, we could talk about that for days.
Yeah, that's why I said
How hard is that to not have facilities? Yes. I mean, come on.
It's tough, man. But you know, in this weight, man, this is a weight room, man, that's gonna get packed out because as we transition back over to the field, I mean, to Indian Trail and put this whole thing together, this is gonna stay. So we're gonna pack this all out. So it's gonna get bigger as far as equipment and different things and that. But you know, you get a weight room and a field, you know, right across the street, you know, that's enough to start it up. That's enough to crank the lawnmower. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's enough to get the lawnmower going. But it's tough, you know, because some of the more traditional ways of creating conditioning, right? You know, running stadiums, running around the track, you know what I mean? You know, pushing sleds and doing different things like that. You know, I want to get into some mat drills. You know what I mean? It's not enough space and not enough things to do that. So it's tough, but, you know, I'm blessed and we're blessed to step into somewhere where these young men, man, they understand the assignment. You get what I'm saying? You know, coming in, I was like, hey, you know, we about to go in the parking lot, get it in. They're like, all right, boom, let's go. You know what I mean? So, you get a little bit more shin splints than normal, you know.
But you know what? These kids are going to appreciate it, the process a lot more.
I think so. It's kind of disheartening, man, you know, before stepping into this, I guess doing my research, you know, that in going to year 7, you know, the first graduating class ain't graduating out of the building they're supposed to, you know, but that's more than you know, a stroke of a pen. You know, you talking about a lot of stuff going into that, which I can't speak to any of it, but you know, we just trying to make it the best, you know, man, listen, I'll tell you one thing about it. The people, they shouted out Miss Purrier earlier, and she has an incredible amount of support in this building. You know, everybody loves her. And but the people in this building, they go through, like, extreme lengths to make this place, you know, just bounce. You know what I mean?
We noticed it when we walked in the door.
They know. Hey, they
I mean, that place was popping up there, man. People were joking, laughing, and smiling. I mean, it was.
I'm trying to tell you. You ever, think about a circus, right? right? Like, you think about a circus, right? You have fun at a circus.
That's right.
But how much fun you have in a bounce house? Just about the same amount.
Yeah,
it's a hell of a lot cheaper.
Hey, so that's the deal. You know, you got these 50-year-old establishments and schools, you know what I mean, that got it cracking like the circus, you know, but it's like a little bounce house, dog, around here. You know, they do a lot, man, go through extreme lengths, man, to make you see the window, man, it's decoration all over. I ain't never been to a place like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's
take pride
a good
in
place to sit. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
They call it the Pride Lands, man. So,
man, with you being, you know, just starting, you know what I mean? What traditions are you guys starting around here?
One of them is going to probably be, you know, like everybody talked about the uniforms. You guys talked about that earlier. They mentioned, you know, looking like Auburn. You know, these kids, man, they look like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air walking in the hallway, shirt, tie, you know what I'm saying, jacket. So when I seen the colors, you know, I talked with A.D. Farmer about just being traditional in our approach, right? And so, you know, we looked at Auburn, same color scheme, and we worked with, you know, some Under Armour reps. We were originally going to go Nike, but then we talked to some Under Armour reps through some stuff, and you know, we told them, I said, when as we get over this deal, we want to, whatever you see over there in Auburn, Alabama, you just put it up here in Louisville, Kentucky. You know, that stuff ain't changed since Bo Jackson and before Bo Jackson.
Yeah, so you have the blue and the white right now?
Right, so we had the blue and the white.
Hey, man, let's rock some orange before it's over with, man.
That's the goal. And two things, man. It's gonna get in line with that traditional uniform that they have in the building, right? And then it's gonna save us some dollars over the long run. And so, you know, we gonna have one of the things I told them about wearing orange. I told your mama and your daddy ain't gonna find no orange nothing on no shelf. That's a special order. You got to order that, NikeID.com. Remember that? All
yes,
that
sir.
I say that's going. I say so. We ain't just gonna rock orange.
But you know what? Nobody else is gonna have orange.
Yeah, you know,
no other team's gonna have the orange either.
So, well, you got Fern Creek out there. They rock the orange.
They don't rock the complete orange though.
Yeah, but no,
like Clemson.
We gonna go all orange.
Let's go, man.
In due time.
Sick.
But we actually did a social media April Fool's deal, where they had, you know, we did a media day picture and we converted it to, you know, it was all white because we were on the road 10 straight games, dog.
Yeah.
10. But it was all good. But we converted it from all white to all orange, and it was like a 30-second video. And so at the end, it was like April Fool's. So they lit up the comments. They was hot with us.
I'd love to see that.
But so that's going to be one of the traditions that we're going to try to stay in that uniform, you know, and perfect it to us, but have that look. You know, just
so did you ever wear the blue?
We wore it one game.
Seems to me like you could make a call and say, "Hey, coach, man, can we switch?"
So you know, I just looked at it, man. Like let's let this thing play out and see what you know. I don't know. Maybe that's why LSU always wears it white at home. I don't know what the circumstances was, but you know, I just wanted to be organic in that first. When I come into anything, dog, I just look and listen. I don't do too much talking. You know what I mean? I don't do too much talking. I just got to read the room.
Read the room.
I didn't ask no questions. I didn't try to ask no favors. Like, man, do me a solid because we on the road 10 games. And I say, you know, hey, we on the road. Hey, listen, we going to keep them washed and keep them clean. And we just going to rock it like that. So we had a neutral site game against Central at Moore. So we rocked them, you know, blue tops, white bottoms. You know, real classic look. So they loved it, you know.
Yeah,
I love it.
I love their uniform.
We brought up the schedule, you know, I mean, to you guys last episode, and you're really not afraid to schedule teams.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Being a second year varsity,
right?
You know, you're like I said, you had Atherton, Fern Creek, you got Central, and then you got your district games. You know,
right?
Man, how are you like teaching them? Like, listen, we have to go and play these big dogs, man, to really like test where we're at.
Well, I'm not going to say we talk about that stuff, but you know there are some programs that are where we want to get. You get what I'm saying? Experience, age, strength, size, numbers, right? And so you know, ain't no shame in the game. You know, shoot, we got out of our Woodford County game. They were one of those schools. You know what I mean? That's where Delshawn, you know, broke his collarbone. You know, we got beat up pretty bad that game, you know, and that's Woodford County out there where them boys do hay bales and, you know, we'll be there And I told Coach Johnson, like, hey, bro, I'm gonna double back in a couple of years and get with you again for sure. You know, we chatted in the email about it, and he understood the assignment. And so, you know, we dropped that because it wasn't so, that's not helping us move forward right now. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Right? I'm not going into this deal trying to, you know, deadlift 1,000 pounds, you know, knowing I got to build up to it. You know what I mean? Pulling back muscles and you get what I'm saying?
Well, scheduling's hard enough in 100%, JCPS anyway.
100%. So,
but, you know, and you guys just starting, mm-hmm. I'm sure it was hard to get certain teams to play you.
Yeah,
and,
so what
and you
happened,
didn't want to play certain teams because you didn't want to be overpowered. Right. So I get it. It's
so
hard.
What happened was, you know, before I came in, A.D. Farmer had he had a schedule in mind that was, and then they realigned all the districts and like, even though you guys aren't going to be able to compete in the district officially or the playoffs, we're gonna throw you in there anyway because we don't want to go through it and realign. We're about to realign in 2 more years anyway, so we just had to, you know, suck it up, you know, and that took some games to the table and brought in some other games. So we just had to roll with those punches. You get what I'm saying? And so in doing so, you know, that's where it's like, okay, how can I teach these lessons? How can we as a staff teach these lessons? You know, they spoke about the Lexington Catholic game. You know, we were Ronnie Brown and Cadillac Williams, you know what I'm saying, Wildcat in every play. And, you know, trying to control the tempo and doing different things like that, you know. But, you know, when we were able to get into those third and fourth quarters where they subbing in and now it's juniors on juniors, you know, that thing stayed about within a touchdown of wherever we started at. So those were times and lessons to be able to say, hey, here, listen, this kid's getting recruited. You going to be on his table, he going to be on yours. And then you going to get recruited. Or now we on an even playing field, let's go to work. You get what I'm saying? So, you know, we had to pick those learning lessons and experience and battles, man, at different times. So,
and staying with them in the 100%. Third and fourth quarter with their younger guys
100%.
And your guys, that's what the future's going to look like.
So we actually
the future.
We talk about that stuff like in game, like at halftime, between the quarters, like, hey, listen, like this is where we're about to transition to. Take your mind here, right? So we done played a hell of a first half, and they about to put in the guy that looked like you or the guy that's your age, your experience level, right? Like, it's still Friday night. We talk a lot about stuff that people don't think about. When a coach watches tape and he see a referee with shorts on, he ain't looking at that tape. It's a JV game. It's bright lights out here. You know what I'm saying? It's sunny, JV game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't watching this tape.
No.
So when we have those opportunities, you know what I'm saying, dark Friday night, you got cheerleaders, signs in the background. You know what I mean? We like, hey, we want to get you some of this good tape. You know what I'm saying? We want to get you some. We want to get you some of this good tape.
And Cutter was on the field, so
100%. That's my boy. Shout out to he a go hard elite. He a go hard elite guy, man. That's my guy. Yeah. That's my guy.
Yeah, and Taka, you know what I mean. You're you know, you got irons. You know what I mean in the fire, man. You go hard 7-on-7.
Right.
You know what I mean. You're here at starting this monster. You know what I mean. Just what else is going on with you, man? You know, are you still the director over there for the?
Yeah, I am. I'm the director of sports over there. You know, we took a couple years off from actually running teams. You know, and we focus on growing the 7-on-7, the tournament that's down there in E-Town that we host.
Yep.
You know, we're up to about 50-something teams now. 2-day event, but you know, one thing that we're trying to get into is actually bringing more into the state of Kentucky and actually doing a state tournament series throughout the spring with club teams. Because one thing we found out is that, you know, people talk to us all the time about, hey, you know, give me the blueprint. And, you know, you may be in some county school, a county area, whatever, and you go out on the road and you just get hammered 2 days, weekend tournament, score 2 touchdowns. You know what I mean? And so it's like, man, you know, coach, you know, we tried it, and it's too high powered, it's too much for us, you know. And so trying to bring more reps into the state of Kentucky. You know, my best friend, my brother, you know, he played at Ohio State, and he's like, the only dude out of Kentucky I respect is Rondell Moore. But then, you know, as I've been here, he's paying attention to guys. You know, I'm showing them guys, and he's like, boy, y'all got some ballers up there now. He said, you just got to get them boys, you know, reps. You know, and being on the road, doing 7-on-7, helping kids get recruited, going on trips. You know, so many coaches talk about, man, if this kid was in another zip code, you know, he'd be respected more.
Exactly, and this is another reason why we started this podcast too, as well, is because we have to get these guys media training.
100%.
We have to get them comfortable in front of the microphone and use this. You know, I mean, hey, I'm a good student, man. 2.5, you know, 3.0 accumulative, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? We want to get that tape out to everybody, man.
It amazes me how a 2-star quarterback from Kentucky. Moves to Ohio, boom, he's a 4-star.
He's a 4-star.
It happens like that.
Isn't it?
And look at the caliber of talent. We had a kid, Trell Riley. He's at SEMO right now. He took the long route around the horn. He is from Paducah area, from Caldwell County. As a sophomore, he led the state in interceptions. Right? By his senior year, they just stopped throwing his way. He had to play offense, do punt return, kick returns, you know. And we took him to an Alabama camp, and the defensive coordinator at the time, you know, he's like, I just need to see him one day. I mean, the defensive backs coach. He said, I just need to see him one day. So he goes down. He said, all right, cool. He's freshman year, goes down. He said, go back and just dominate. I need you to dominate or move. This is what he told him. I need you to dominate or move. Right? Man. So he ends up going to Tennessee, you know, went to the NFL, came back, went to Tennessee, and he's like, so now this kid's a senior. And he's like, hey, y'all, man, what happened to that kid? Is he still in school? And so I'm like, yeah, man. He said, you know, where he going? We like, where you want him to go? So he takes him at Tennessee as a preferred walk-on, you know, towards his ACL. You know, he ends up going to it, you know, JUCO. After that, shreds it, right? And now he's at SEMO right now. And the way the college landscape is now, you know, you got these guys that's in the portal, and they're like, hey, man, I got a guy that I was at this place with over here and this place with over here, you know, and they like, hey, man, you go ball out, bro. We gonna tell our coach, come get you, you know what I mean, Power 5. And so it's crazy, man. But that's what we were told. Like, hey, he was considering, like, hey, you know, his sister lived in Louisville or his aunt or something. Like, bro, we about to move up there. You know, and so that's the thing about it, man. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
That's crazy.
Especially up close and personal, like doing travel 7-on-7, going from Michigan to Florida, you know, throughout the spring for 8 years. You know, these kids get so much respect. You know, like, damn, where y'all from? Y'all from Kentucky? But you ain't know they play ball up there like that. You get what I'm saying?
You know, we were.
So you got to go out and get it.
Yeah, we were at another school doing a podcast, and they went to the Kentucky Showcase, man. And 4 of the 8 were MVPs of there were from Louisville.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you get
there was Michigan guys.
Yeah,
at that camp.
Michigan, Tennessee guys. Yeah. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that's what it is about, man, getting these kids' name out there, man, because there's some ballers.
You got to go fishing, dog.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. You know when you from, you know, not just Kentucky. You look at, you know, maybe Montana or something. But, you know, talking about our guy, we got to go fishing. Then you got to learn to cook the fish too. You know what I'm saying? You got to do both, dog. You got to do both. You got to do both because this is the deal. This is the deal.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
I grew up from St. Petersburg, Florida, right? My bad. And I could go to Orlando, Tampa, wherever, and you got the old school Nike Spark Combine, right?
That's old school.
Yeah, old school. The rival, you know, but now it's the Rivals deal or whatever.
Yeah.
Bro, you got to go to Columbus, Ohio. You got to go to Atlanta, Georgia, Nashville. You know what I mean? Closest might be Indianapolis that rotate every 3 years. You know, ain't nobody coming, and they going to come from Ohio, Michigan to Ohio, right? Ohio, Indiana, boom. I'm going to stop and go back, or I'm going to go to Georgia, go to Tennessee. And I'm going to come from Florida and do the same thing. Stop. It's the second most border state in the country. You get what I'm saying? Damn. It's the second most border state in the country. But it's a homegrown deal. You know, we're the only state, well, us in West Virginia, right? Between all the border states, Ohio, Indiana, you know, Tennessee, that play with Spalding Alpha as our official state ball.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on that.
No. I'm just saying, hey, let's take it serious, though, right? Every state official state football is a Wilson GST.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying.
So it trickles down.
It does.
It trickles down. So if you're not gonna respect it at that level and different things of that nature, you know what I'm saying? We root by bourbon and horses, man.
Hey, and I used to go around with these recruiters and these services that rank these kids.
Right.
How in the world do you rank a kid that you've never seen him play? You've never been to a practice. You've never seen what he can do.
Right.
But he's only a 1-star. Perfect example. Spike Soles.
Right. Dog. Wait, hit the button.
yeah. Let me hit that. Let me hit that, baby.
Dog.
This kid is a 3-star?
Yeah. I remember Spike as a shorty running around when I was at Ballard.
You show me 5 linemen in the country at his size that are better than him. I'll wait.
Right. He's a dog, man.
The only reason he's a 3-star is because his daddy's taking him out there.
But you gotta go get it.
And fighting and scratching and clawing. And places like Kentucky, and that's what you got to do.
Well, it's crazy that you know what I mean. He's winning all these MVPs, and he's still a 3.
Not coming up.
You know what I mean?
You know what it's going to do when he starts getting offers from Miami, Penn State, then he'll bump up.
Yeah, but and I appreciate the guys like like him that just go get it. He was at our 7-on-7 tournament coaching touchdowns.
I did see that clip. I did see that clip. He's like, I need to be a tight end.
Going out.
I chose to flip right past that one.
Hey, he was up there with Don Joy's on. But it's not just him. We mentioned Cutter Boley. He was down in Tennessee, up in Ohio, up in Michigan, up and just doing a whole lot of stuff, man. Because he was in. I talked to his pops personally, like, bro, you gotta for one get out of LaRue County. Shout out to LaRue, man. It's good stuff, man. Anthony Atkins also came from LaRue County. He's a GHE boy too. But I say, dog, you gotta have to fight, this deal and get him, some exposure. It's gonna be tough. You're gonna have to, risk some things and then don't break.
Hey, we may have to change the battery on this episode.
That's what I know. That's what we're not even getting into him. Like where he grew up, where you play ball, what number.
Oh man,
why'd you wear your number, man?
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Let's talk about your Louisville days. That'll hit home to a lot of people who are going to watch this.
Yeah,
I mean, what an experience.
Hey, no. Let me ask this. Let me ask this question because I always want to ask a D1.
I know what you're going to say.
What would have been your what would you splurged on with your NIL money?
Ooh. I might be as simple as they come. I gotta hook up my old girl, man. My mom Dukes. She. I might just, hey man, you take it and give me some. You know what I'm saying?
What were we thinking? An Escalade or a house?
Man, no, I'm a Mustang, bro.
Mustang.
For me.
Yeah, for you.
Mustang.
No, for Mom Dukes.
I'm saying for me, like personally.
What would she want?
Nothing.
Just come pick her up every now and then.
She don't want nothing. She want a Corvette. That's her favorite car.
Let's go.
But other than that, she don't want nothing.
Hey, we could do a whole show on NIL.
Shit, we can. But yeah,
we're in the wrong time frame, man.
Remember that movie, dog? Going to 60 Seconds, Nicolas Cage.
Yeah,
68 Shelby.
That's where that.
Yeah,
I thought you were gonna say that's where your NIL would have been. Gone in 60 seconds.
Hey, if I had it, no. But no, that made me fall in love with Mustangs right there. So I want to actually build one of those. You know what I mean? I want to get a body and build or have it built.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But have it built.
63 Stingray with a bubble back window.
They were doing 60 Stingrays back then?
It's the only year they did it.
And now they brought them back, though.
Yes. Look at the 63.
I drove an 8-speed Stingray in Florida, manual. It was sick.
Damn.
Hey.
Okay, so who'd you play for? Who'd you play for in Louisville?
I came in 2009 under Steve Crackthorpe. And then Charlie Strong came in, and just flipped the switch.
Flipped the lights on, didn't he?
Yeah, he flipped the lights on, man. And this is the thing. A lot of the stuff, they call me Coach Prime and around here, players, man, I say, bro, I'm from Florida. Who you think coach me? And Coach Strong. But a lot of that stuff comes from Coach Strong, man. And he spent a ton of time in Florida, as well. They probably about the same age, same era of ball. But he came in and shredded the carpet, took all of the wallpaper off the walls, and he put stuff up like this. You know what I'm saying? Put I don't know what the stitching or whatever, cardinal birds in the carpet and all this. He's like, man, you better not ever wear nothing else that ain't red and black with a bird on it as long as you on this campus and on this team. Really? I don't care where your brother go to school at. I don't care where your mama graduated from. You better have some pride. He told all our coaches took their alumni bumper stickers and tags off the car, everything, man.
Hey, that dude was a brick, too.
Bruh. What?
He talked, you listen.
Oh, yeah, you better.
And I've said it all along. If that dude would still be here right now, they would have a statue out front.
I told him that. I told him.
I called
him. I told him that. He said, "Oh man, watch out, Durant."
Hey, those Teddy Bridgewater teams, man.
Yeah.
You say what you want about Lamar, but Teddy laid the foundation.
Hey, watch what Madu do down there in Northwestern as a coach.
Oh yeah,
Brett's about to get stupid.
Oh, Teddy's.
He's
one of a kind, man.
But
hey, we would just go back, like, you know how you do quick funny story. He may or may not remember it. We would do blitz pickup pre-practice, right? And so we had calls like, we had a Steeler blitz, a Cowboy blitz, whatever. And so we started coming up. We had a couple coaches from the SEC that was assistants get jobs at like Temple, Steve Adagio, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like the people that were familiar with Coach Strong from his coordinating days. So we had to change like our signals. Man, in the SEC, they said they got signal watchers with binoculars. For real.
Doesn't surprise me.
Don't surprise me at all.
So we changed our signals in some. So a Steeler, you could also say Pittsburgh, and you know what I'm saying, stuff like that, right? And so we talked about this as a defense, and the offense didn't really know about it at that time. And so Teddy was so smart, we would just go back and forth on blitz pickup. Like we check some, he changed protection. Blitz pickup is half speed, trot and walk through. And so this pre-practice, and we just going back and forth like playing chess, with him, like throwing this blitz or rocking his safety. He changed his protection, come over here and do. Dude was an animal, man.
He really, I mean.
He's an animal.
Yeah.
That's when we moved down, was when he was the starter. That's when we moved, because I was from Michigan.
Right.
And
they need to build a statue of him, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm telling you, there's no Lamar Jackson without Teddy doing it first.
Oh, for sure.
Lamar said it. He said, I came here because I seen Teddy Bridgewater.
I almost cried when dude broke his leg, man.
Yeah.
And I'm a Steelers fan, so I had no skin in the game at all.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow,
man,
he's a great person.
His approach, though, too, like, he's one of them people that he's one of the reasons right now why I tell these guys, man, to go use your gift, right?
I love that.
Go use your gift to go make something that you've never could make without. I said, bro, you get on a college team, you got 100 instant connections. You can't do that on campus as a regular student. You get what I'm saying? You got 100 instant connections right there. And we was riding the car, me and Teddy, one day from practice to the stadium, and he was like, man, I play because I'm good. I love to compete, but I play the game because I'm good at it. You know what I'm saying? And
he's got a point.
I play the game because I'm good at it. I love to compete. I also play the game, but like it ain't just, I just love, I gotta play football. And he was like, bro, I'm really good.
What about his mama?
She's good. She's good people. Yeah, they used to kick it.
They used to show her up in the stands, and
she's
just smiling.
Yeah, her and my mom had a good relationship while we were all up here, man. But man, them days.
I love me some Teddy, man.
Was crazy.
Yeah.
Them days was crazy. Man.
Yeah, Rutgers.
Oh yeah.
That Rutgers game.
Don't even why are you bringing that up, man?
Hey, I got to bring it up, man. It was phenomenal football games.
It was cold.
My favorite Teddy game was the UC game up there, Cincinnati.
Yeah, did you see that clip where he was doing the chant?
Yeah,
he's just so locked in.
That was Teddy.
He's locked in all the time.
But he was good. He was goofy at times when he had to be.
See, he's subtle with it too, right? He would discipline like our linemen in practice. Like they jump off sides, he just hit him in the head. If he's got the ball in him, he might just throw it at the back of the head. Like just little small stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I'm not gonna crucify you. You know you messed up, but I'm gonna let you know. Like, hey, let's tighten. He just tapped him in the back of the helmet like that.
Did you play in the Sugar Bowl?
Yeah, I did.
So my favorite, I do remember you were with 34, 84, 34.
Yeah, 34.
I remember my favorite Teddy. When we're totally off, but we'll get back on it. My favorite Teddy moment was when dude destroys him.
Yeah.
And
we knew it was
Teddy gets up and he has that look. Yeah. And I told my dad and I were sitting there watching on TV. We couldn't go, and I said, "It's on." Yeah. He just woke Teddy up. It's on.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. That whole game was. I know you like, oh, that's cliche, you saying that back, but we were watching, when we got in New Orleans, we were watching tape of Boise State, not at Florida. Wow. Their offensive coordinator the year before I came from Boise State. Mm-hmm. And the quarterback who's now, phenomenal coordinator, Kellen Moore in the league, right? He ran the exact same plays, but the only difference was Jeff Driscoll was a runner. So when they pulled it, he would run often, but for Kellen Moore, he wasn't really a runner. When they pulled it, it was RPOs and pass and dumps.
What about the crowd at that game?
Yeah, it was crazy. That dome, bro, it was the loudest thing. It was we run out there. Man, it was. Hey,
phenomenal episode, Coach. We can sit here all day. And
so I'm an old guy. My U of L memories when we beat Florida State in a torrential downpour.
Well, so I'm a Florida State fan. So
I
grew up a Florida State fan. I was a good Florida State fan.
We could talk all day about it.
All day.
So it's the crazy thing, like, so what's my man Ernest Givens, right? Throwback. He's from St. Pete, Florida. Pat Carter, St. Pete, Florida. You know what I mean? So it was some guys we like, man. We always had just
pipeline.
I knew about Louisville.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then you get like the Florida State games, and you got obviously Big East Miami. My dad.
Well, if you live down there, you want to go to Florida State, Miami.
And then you get the Sugar Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean the Orange Bowl.
Do you think Charlie's the one to turn that around? Really? I mean, Howard
100%.
Snellenberger obviously.
His name on the building for a reason. You got to play homage.
But Charlie's the one that really got that pipeline going.
I think the pride, I don't know how often they was using that old English Louisville L, right? But his the first summer, because he came in the spring in January, that was everywhere. I didn't know. I had been there before. Didn't know they called the stadium the Oven. He's a research guy. He would dig out archive stuff and he's slapping old stuff on walls. This is the Oven. They used to call it. I'm like, why is it the Oven?
The pizza box.
I'm like, I didn't know. I was there before he got there. You know what I mean? And so, he brought a sense of pride. You couldn't wear stuff. He made him he said, empty the equipment room.
We're starting over.
He said, give it all to them. They better not wear nothing else other than the Cardinal bird.
You talk about it, dude. We used to go to his coaches' clinics.
Right. Some of the stuff that we're starting our booster club right now with some phenomenal individuals, right? And so the purpose of that is to be able to move more aggressively here. You know what I'm saying? We want to purchase something, we're going to buy it. You know what I'm saying? We want to market something, we're going to bring some people in, to collaborate, posts or whatever it is. We don't just want no doggone signs on the fence, bro. You know what I mean? Like I said, we hiring a director of media. We trying to operate like you spoke to it. One of you guys spoke to it about getting guys prepared, right, for media and stuff. You know what I mean? Right? You can't tell all this whole story, bro, in one podcast episode.
No, we can't.
You know what I'm saying?
No, we can't.
So we want to be able to roll this stuff out, man, and let you guys see in these hallways and do different stuff, man. So, but more than just us as presenting the brand. You can go to college for free. Shout out to my guy Miles, man, at UK right now. He was in our GHE program, got hurt a couple times, and I showed him everything from a fundamental standpoint of using the camera. He's a paid intern while he's still in school right now at Kentucky Athletics. And those opportunities are everywhere. You know what I mean? So we want to get these guys, those 11 young men we talked about, we want to get them involved in the program, you know what I mean, and make them be a part of a program so that they can have experience, right, and say, look at my resume, because I'd rather pay this kid a scholarship than you to feed your family at the college level to do the same thing.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
I'd rather pay you a scholarship than pay him $80,000 to feed his family.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
So now, not only that, then you can grow up in the program and potential. Like I had a dude that was an equipment manager, undergrad, GA. He was over golf, tennis, track and field, and swimming. He started a career as a freshman undergrad guy. Ended up working 8 years in equipment management over the Olympic sports at U of L. Them opportunities are there, dog, and we just want to hey, come on in. We ain't hard to find. That's what we want from our program, not just the team.
Well, I'll be honest. I bet you there's a lot of people out there that doesn't even know this place exists.
Probably right.
And that getting a marketing person, that's going to be huge.
Yeah. So that is, and that's why we want to be able to build and talk with. I know certain stuff you can't touch because it's JCPS, But man, listen, man, we want people, bro, that want to grow. You know what I'm saying? Themselves. Anybody that I talk to, I tell them this: whatever you ever thought about doing in your head, right? Do it here.
Let's go. That's what I'm talking about, man. That's what.
Hey, that's
but
what
you know what I mean. Like with you getting into football, you know what I mean. You had to have that strong mental, mental fortitude. I'm gonna go and get this.
Right.
You know what I mean. But who installed that in you?
My dad has this story that I used to wait for people to run by and then jump on their back and tackle them. Right. I'll never remember that, but he got his. He said that's how I started. But I always had like. He said that was my desire to want to play that he kind of figured out. Like, I'm not going to run away or, like, I'm going to figure out a way to try to get involved and tackle and all that. But then that just turned into just overall just competitiveness. When y'all talked about playing a game, you got a 21 skunk rule, right? Where I'm from, you got to call it. You pick up that joystick, you got to call it. And whoever call it, it's in your favor. So if you down 21, right, it's in your favor because you called it first when you picked up the joystick. I didn't have no game growing up. You get what I'm saying? So I was on the lacking end of it. But hey, so brother, it's 35 to zip, 35 to whatever. I'm like, bro, the game ain't over yet. They be like, bro, why are you acting like that? I say I called 21 first, so the game ain't over yet. And so I don't know, man. It just I got all sisters. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never really had nobody to compete with internally. You know what I'm saying? Like at home. And so it just was I don't know, honestly, 'cause my mom wasn't really an athlete. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just wanted competition. I used to walk around my neighborhood just looking for something to get into. I'm glad that it didn't go the other way. You know what I mean? Because I used to walk around, bro, trying to go compete with somebody. So God, and my mom and my family just allowing me to be involved in something like sports or whatever. Yeah. To do that. So it's a I hate to lose, man. And this is that faith and that growth and that patience and all that stuff I was talking about earlier. Bro, I hate to lose. Like, I can't stand it. And so this is bigger than just wins and losses though. So it's made me throttle down a whole lot. I remember as a freshman, I didn't even play against UK. I redshirted and all that type of stuff. We lost. My mom came in, I'm like, straight to the room. Straight to the room. You know what I mean? They're like, you just leave him alone. Don't even talk to him. You know what I mean? So I can't say like, this one instance just did it. I just think it was something in me, man. My lady, man, Courtney, she always try to get on me. She like, bro, you ain't got to compete with me about everything.
Yeah, I
do.
Yeah, you do.
You know what I'm saying? But I've calmed down a lot because of her too over the last couple of years. We just been dialing in more and more and more. Like, I ain't got to compete with everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just, I don't know. I keep competing with my kids like I headbutt them. I headbutted my son one day. He was shocked. He like, oh. I'm like, yeah, you got to get that. He 9, dog.
Yeah, now he knows.
He 9.
Yeah. So listen, this is a phenomenal episode, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
I got just a couple more questions, really, man.
Okay, let's do it.
But your mentors, man. You could probably go a list of just mentors, man. But your a football guy that really mentored you, man. Mm-hmm. Who was that?
The staff at U of L. Like I said, I ain't gonna take down the list, but probably the one that makes the most sense, not to belittle or forget anybody, so I ain't even try to name people. But the person that made the most sense is Coach BJ, Brian Jean-Marie. He's the linebacker coach at Michigan right now. And he used to always say, respect the game. You know what I'm saying? And as simple as that is, it's like, you can't go out here and expect to have success and you ain't did no work. You ain't prepared your body. You know what I'm saying? You ain't having no game. You ain't coming to practice. You don't have no intentionalness with the way you practice and the things you do. Mm. That's disrespecting the game. If you respect the game and do everything that you supposed to do, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna pay dividends. That's having the respect. You don't go into your mama house with your shoes on if she say don't take your shoes off. You know what I mean? You don't go into the bank a certain way, just for kicks and giggles. You about to get your behind shot up or arrested. So having respect for the game of football is going into it the right way. And
football is one of those sports, if you don't respect it, it'll bite you.
Yeah. You know, and just like, you know, he talk about everything was about respect the game, like standing around in power. That's not respect for the game. Go get in it. You know what I'm saying?
Get
like
on the camera.
Said, get in it. You know, don't just stand around the power. You're going to get yourself hurt. Like you just said.
That's right.
You don't go into it the right way, you're going to get hurt. You're going to blow a knee.
That's right.
You stand around that pile. So, you know, I would just say from a singular standpoint of football, man, he's a dude, bro. He's a dude when it comes to, you know, really, you know, talking about the game of football. And he's, you know, he GA for Charlie Strong. You know, so everybody, you know, it's got that, you know, that deal.
Yeah.
But outside of that, Charlie Strong, man, and I think I'm glad to have known him as a head coach because he's super cool. You can see the intentionalness, you know what I'm saying, and the fierceness that he probably had as a position coach. But, you know, he would come up to you in practice like, hey, man, what the heck is Jameis Winston talking about with them damn crab legs? Why'd he do that?
Just to put it in the back of your mind.
Just to, I'm like, what are you talking about? like, he did that to me one day, right? And he's like, Durant, you know all these plays. I don't care nothing about that. Why he do that? Why he do that? I'm like, man, I don't know, coach, man. I'm trying to watch practice, bro.
Is that what you told him?
Yeah, I told him that. He said,
hey, he's waiting to jump on you, man.
Hey, he said, it's the twos, man. Come on, well, why you do that, Durant? It's the twos in. Why you do that? I'm like, man, coach, I don't know why he did it.
He's got the Charlie voice down too. If you close your eyes, you can see him.
But no, man, that I think between those two guys, man, just our whole staff, man, Vance Bedford.
Oh, Vance was wonderful,
man,
yeah.
Coach, you know, it just everybody, man.
What about the big guy?
Just man, Hurt. I still, man, he gave me what he called the keys to dominance, right? I added one to it. His was, you know, eyes, feet, hands, leverage to get off, right? So I took that into coaching with me, and I put above that knowledge.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And so, you know, we were texting back and forth probably about a year ago, actually, and me preparing for this job. And I say, man, Coach, what were those? I don't want to get them wrong or get them out of order. And he told me, I say, man, I'm going to put this knowledge up there, you know, because me, you know, like you look at Lorenzo Malden, remember him? Right? You know, I played behind him on the strong side, and, you know, I'm like, they would. I was in control of like, hey, make sure this dude, he gonna go a mile. Hey, yo, he ain't gonna stop. He
made it easier on you.
He gonna miss a gap, you know, but he gonna jump a gap. You gonna just let him go, but you better make him right.
Better make him right.
If you don't make him right, you in trouble. He ain't never in trouble. That's how it was, dog. And so just but understanding that from those guys, they were teachers, man. So just that core group of a staff. You know, they taught us, man, just that would probably be it, you know. But starting with Coach BJ, because he was my position coach, just having that respect for the game, you know, is the biggest thing. I just remember, man, out of being with him for 4 years. It
Phenomenal.
was incredible. Yeah.
Phenomenal episode, man.
Yeah.
We could sit here all day
and I hate the fact that we kind of got off the boys thing, but this is all where it starts.
But the part of it though, man, is that you look at like a file cabinet of ideas when man, when I get my podcast, we gonna roll it out and do this. When I stop coaching and whatever it is, man, you gotta pull out that file cabinet, bro, and pull out the shorter sheet of paper. You gotta start with that one sentence and like, you know, iron it off and like, let's just see how this works first. And that's kind of it. Like all these different things, they tell me the kid back, man, you got a story for everything, coach. I said, bro, it's hey, you will too. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I want you to have more experiences and those stories than me when you become my age, you know. But all of that, I'm trying to find a way to funnel, you know what I'm saying, things, you know, in as a leader, right? You know, I'm trying to find guys that's smarter than me, you know what I mean? So we've been hiring guys out, dog, you know. I think we done brought in about 7 guys. We had 4 or 5 last year, so we trying to.
So you're bringing more? Okay.
I got to question one of your DB coaches. You know, Cosby, man. No, that's my guy, Cosby.
Yeah.
He coached with me. He was my DB coach at Fairdale.
But this is the deal, though, man. Like guys like him, right?
Cosby knows everybody.
I don't. You get what I'm saying?
Cosby will be your guy in the public because he knows everybody.
And so I need guys that can get us what I can't get us.
Right.
You know what I mean? So somebody asked me one day, like, hey, if you had a magic wand, what would you know? It was a coach that I was trying to bring in. had been a head coach before, so I've been looking for a guy to be a head coach to help me learn from, right? And so he's like, what would you wave the magic wand for? I said, some money. He said, you good on coaches? You don't need no more coaches? I'm like, yeah. I said, you gonna find those in relationships and talks and fits. I said, but I can't go get no money. You know what I'm saying? We got to start this booster club. We ain't got no gate. We ain't got no
have money to pay the coaches.
You get what I'm saying? So I said, I need some money. I said, because if I was going to wave a wand, I'm a human, bro. I'm probably going to make a guy like me. I don't need no more guys like me. I need some guys that's going to challenge me. You get what I'm saying?
And Cosby's the mayor, so he knows everybody.
He's going to be, a person that can definitely help us in the community. We got some more guys, man. We got some more guys, bro. Like, you check out the social. We got a lot of guys, man. That's gonna help us out, bro.
Listen, and this is truly from me to you. If you ever need us for anything, to come out to do anything for you guys, spotlight more of your guys. You know what I mean? Especially when we get into summer ball. You want us to come back out, man?
Yeah,
I know
this.
problem.
I know y'all reached out December.
Yeah, we
talked
like
it's been a little minute.
And you know what? He took like 2 months to get back to me. And I was like, man, this dude he don't want no part of this.
But I try to, they say be where your feet at. You know what I mean? And I ain't know if we was gonna miss the opportunity or not.
Hey, but I said, don't ever feel like you can't text him or hit me up on Twitter and DM me.
Right.
Do what you got to do. Reach out. We will be here as soon as possible.
We had this is the spot where if you scroll down to the beginning, you'll see our media day, man. We lit it up. It was in here. It was phenomenal. I know you say Abel invited you guys out. He's a good dude too, bro.
Yeah.
He's a good man. This is I met him, just through coaching, just watch. Nothing ever personal, just never like nothing real deep. And then I say, man, hey coach, man, we trying to grow, bro. Right? He sent me his back copy. Nah, I ain't gonna ever send it to nobody else.
That's what it's about, man.
But
you gotta get those guys.
You get what
you
I'm
gotta
saying?
And that brotherhood will help you out.
And he sent it to me because he like, bro, you don't need this. And that's the game we watch the most because you can see, you need that back copy. You need that back. Hey, so anybody that want to sponsor the DuBois football team, a back end zone camera, you will be all over our social media.
It's a game changer.
It's a game changer. You'll be on every T-shirt. We'll get a patch.
I never liked a back copy because I was always in the booth looking at the side.
Yeah.
And then at Fairdale we got one, and I was like, whoa.
I'm a game changer.
It changes everything.
Everything.
You can see a lot more.
Everything.
You can see who's being lazy and not doing their stunts.
And this is a deal.
You can see it.
But for the kids, that's what the coach.
Yeah.
They got all 22, a tight, a back, both sides. They want to see that back copy too when they recruiting. You know what I mean? See how you see it all.
Oh, then you watch film and you blend the two together.
Man, what? Hey, listen.
Intercut them into. Oh.
Hey, listen. I'm trying to tell you. 3 views.
It's like cheating.
I'm trying to tell you.
Phenomenal episode, man. George Durant Jr., the head football coach, W.E.B DuBois Academy, man. Phenomenal episode, man. We are definitely going to come back, spotlight some more of your cats, man. To just,
man, I know it's cleats to whistles, man, and we talking about that, but man, these people, our academic recruiting coordinator, Miss Purrier, I say, Miss P, she's like, how can I be involved? I say, man, listen, just keep people here. Help us get, the education part of this thing, communicate with middle schools, you know what I mean? We just trying to, coach some games, but we got to respect, the process, and this academy, bro, it's academic first. But I say, Miss P, man, I need, them boys stand up. I showed her some of the class. I said, bro, we ain't going to stand up. We can't. Nah. I said, I got this steel rod in my leg. I said,
I'm okay with it.
I said, we can't. I said, we can't be standing up, man, for this one. She said, okay, I'll get, so she put this together.
No, that's cool. And hey, if Miss P wants to get on the podcast, man.
I told her when she was out there, that was her. She said, nah.
Yes.
And I'd love to get Farmer on here.
Yeah.
Farmer and I talked. And, I
but
know he's got some stuff
like,
going on now.
The thing about this place, man, is people don't know,
no.
Like, you see that there right there, pride, perseverance, resilience, and intentional, right? Discipline, empathy. You know what I'm saying? They try to, really exude that, in a lot of ways, man. So,
you're going in the right direction.
Well,
Yeah, I believe so.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yep. And like I said, Miss P, if you want to come on the podcast,
Miss
we're going to be here.
Miss P ain't coming on here.
We'll get her on there.
The number one disheartening thing that I think everybody feels, grief over is that the young men that started this in 2017 won't get a chance to experience it at, the beginning of the fullness. I think, but for the most part, I think they understand that, that's why Delshawn talked about coming back and teaching. That's something that he want to do, because they ain't gonna stay away from it.
They're the Teddy Bridgewaters of DuBois. They're laying the groundwork.
Right.
Those guys will always be the first group
the
here.
First group, man.
100%. They always gonna be welcome, man. Weight room, whatever. Like, I still got guys right now. Like,
future coaches, man.
For sure. Guys that I've coached in the past, I'm like, man, listen, hey, bro, you wherever I'm at, you good to go. Come get a lift.
Nothing makes a coach happier than having a kid he
coaches.
coaches.
Let's go, man.
That's one of the things I wish that they would do at U of L a little bit. I don't know, Coach Brom, he's an alumni too. He might get it going. But, like, I feel like at any college sport that a guy played or whatever, bro, you shouldn't have to go to get no damn Crunch Fitness membership. Have an hour a day at the facility for guys to get a lift in. Basketball, have an hour a day where guys can get a run, or even if it's just
PK already said you come back anytime. Don't have to call. Just come
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like Nash, that should be more of a thing.
I agree 100%. 100%.
Agree.
So, my door's going to be open for my guys.
Phenomenal episode, man. Phenomenal
episode. We may have
episode.
to put a new tape in and start another one, because this is, I could literally sit here for an hour.
Miss P, you can bring us some food.
Phenomenal episode, man. George Durant Jr. Yeah. Phenomenal, man.
I appreciate you guys, man.
Like we always say, everyone has a story.
We're here for them to tell it.
Cleats to Whistle Podcast.